I have a few experiences that I can share as a GT. When I was little, I was very sensitive to paranormal stuff. This is one of the many that have marked me. Be me. 6-yo kid with occultist father. Go to sleep normally. Dream I'm in a condo where I used to live a year before. Look down. I have a fucking hoverboard. Just like in the movie Back to the Future. Jumping around and doing tricks. Having a lot of fun. Start to notice there's no one else around. It's extremely quiet, no birds, no insects. The hoverboard stops working. I try to fix it, but it is useless. As I am fidgeting with it, I hear a voice. It's really deep and coming from everywhere at the same time. It tells me it can fix my hoverboard for me. But only if I repeated what it said. Starts chanting some shit. I don't recall exactly what it was, but it was something like this. I renege the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son and the Holy Spirit. The voice kept going, and says a lot more obscure shit. My 6-yo tiny brain couldn't comprehend how horrible the things the voice was saying really were. Start repeating after it. Growing sense of dread as I continue repeating the words. The words grow darker and darker. Some shit about the path of the night or something. Eventually the sense of dread is so strong that I stop repeating the words. The voice keeps going, never stops, like a record being played. After a while, it disappears halfway through a phrase. It was like something yanked it straight from my dream. Wake up sweating. Can't move. What the fuck? Regain movement after a while. Never tell this to anyone. Fast forward 19 years afterwards. Took after my father. Research the occult often. One day, I come across a paper on diabolism and pacts. Start reading it out of curiosity. Reach the section about the chants. Start reading. Start sweating. The words are extremely close to what I remember from my dream as a kid. Be me, Swiss Anon. Driving home from Spain Trofborjux, stay in a Airbnb with garden, in a village called St. Palais-sur-Mer. Greater than go home after dinner at 11 p.m. Lay in bed. Hear a sounds. Like someone is breathing through a machine, deep breath in and out through the mouth. It doesn't stop for 20 to 30 minutes. Get my clothes on. Tell my ex-GF I will go and have a look. Maybe someone is dying. Kick. Go out, listen to the sound coming from the house next to me. On the other side is a bigger property with a stone wall, little bushes and trees and a big house 150 foot from the street. Suddenly, the sounds comes from behind the stone wall. Go there. Looking into the property. Nothing. Out of nothing the sounds is right next to me. While turning, spinning around I take a look at the point where the sound is coming from. Nothing. Run as fast I never run before or after in my life. It followed me to the fence of the Airbnb property. Look at the gate from the window, nothing to see. But you clearly hear the breathing. WTF. Stay inside, GF crying. What do? Anon, your head is playing games. Call ambulance, sounds still going for 15 minutes. Ambulance arrive, suddenly nothing to hear. Go into the large property, it was to be sold. Searched the property for 15 minutes, told them what I heard. They make fun of me in French, thinking I don't understand. He have seen a ghost. Me, chimping out, I didn't drink, smoke or anything else. Nothing. After 20 minutes they go inside. No joke, 1 minute later, the same fucking sound started again. GF wanted to just GTFO. Closed the window, told her to sleep. What we did. I honestly can't explain it. If it would have been an animal we would have found it and the sound would not just have stopped and started again. Be me. Work for an international company. Everything goes well. The colleagues are all very nice and diverse. You don't want to say something about your disability, because you are afraid of getting fired. Most exciting job I've ever had. Talk with the higher-up management like it's no big deal. Everyone likes you and on. Tries to put in maximum efforts to not get fired. Very proud of your work. Never received any training at the beginning. Do basically 2 jobs at once, because the assistant was ill. They assign an extern with an exorbitant fee to my projects. Okay, whatever. Company basically in shambles. Doing restructure work and everything else I'm not supposed to do. Anon, no smoke breaks. Have a fallout with one management guy who has now left the firm. Get called names and berated. Suddenly everyone hates you. Find out all my predecessors were fired like me in a similar fashion. People dislike you for being a social democrat and vocal about it, because the owner is clearly racist and a far-right extremist. Work with people like Israel and Mossad in military contracts. Still missing that job. MFW. I've got a graveyard story from NZ. Me circa 2010 summer break. On the whim me and friend Jay go to a big old graveyard near sundown. Graveyard is in a suburban area but is quite dense and sprawling within with patches of preserved native forest and streams running between the graves. Our only plan was to smoke weed and it was already getting dark when we arrived, but we were youthfully determined and walked some distance into the more unkempt wooded area down the path. While we were walking, the street lamps went on. They were like small faux gas lamps set at long distances along the winding main track. I looked behind us and noticed a figure, presumably a man, walking behind us at a distance. This wouldn't have been unusual except that when I turned around he froze. I continue looking for some time before it chills all over and I turn around. Creeped out but trying not to be, I turn my head quickly over my shoulder and see him step behind a lamp post about 3 posts behind us, becoming totally invisible as he stepped back into the shadow behind the harsh light. Extremely spooked. Don't wanna bring it up to Jay because I don't want to sound paranoid. As we walk deeper into the cemetery, the lanterns are spaced further apart and we turn off track into a forested grove where there's a seat and chair area in a small clearing. On the way keep looking back over shoulder but no sign of the figure and already I have started to rationalize the event. We smoke in the cemetery for a bit when I notice a fleeting movement behind a tree some meters away behind my friend's head. While trying to pay attention to whatever stoned ramblings of my friend, I watch the trees behind him. It happens again, a sudden movement, and I see clearly the figure of a shadowed man jump out from behind one tree to behind another. Something unnatural about the way it moves. My stoned brain is torn between fear of the sleeping larrikin coming towards us and fear of sounding insane trying to alert Jay and fear of alerting this figure to my having seen him. I can't quite remember how, but Jay ended up seeing the guy of his own accord and we both silently nopes out. Jay was so unnerved he left his pipe behind on the seat. It doesn't sound so scary typing it out like that, but I shat bricks at the time. The guy was always too far off for me to make out clearly. What was so creepy was how he seemed to be performing like he stepped behind the light knowing he would be invisible behind the light, and the way he jumped between the trees was so unnatural. It wasn't how anyone would actually do that movement. He was looking straight ahead in my direction and jumping sideways from behind one tree trunk to another. We didn't see him in the way back. Very creepy experience. Yeah, I've got one. Me. Stationed in MD, Army fag, go to Patapsco State Park. Park down by the footbridge, decide to hit the bathroom before hiking. Old person is walking around playing an out-of-tune violin. Sounds 3p.mp3. Old person goes into the female side of the bathroom, I can hear the playing on the men's side. Hide in a stall until I start to feel too much like a wimp. Finally come back outside. Start crossing the footbridge. The old person starts following me. See the ruins of an old building up ahead on a hill, make for it. Get on top and turn around, ready for whatever. The old person gets across the bridge, quits playing all of a sudden and runs off down the greenway. That was the direction I wanted to walk, so I wait for like 10 minutes and then head that way too. All of a sudden a dense fog sets in. Don't see another person for like 30 minutes. Suddenly see a shape running towards me out of the fog. Oh no. JPG. Turns out to just be a jogger. Fog clears up and I go about my day. Nothing else supernatural happens for the rest of the day. Weirdest thing that's ever happened to me. I've coined this cryptid the Patapsco Fiddler. Me. 19 years old. Graduation ceremony with high school sweetheart. Matching outfits together with her and even putting a small bear sticker on your tie for her. Really romantic. Fun memories. Your parents get to meet each other for the first time. Everything seems to be going well. Everyone was alright at dancing, no mishaps. This could be my most treasured memory. In the evening after the sun set, girl suddenly breaks up with you, telling you she hates you. Be extremely sad. FFW 8 years. Still no answers as to why. She used to chat and call with you all the time, even after the relationship ended. Tries to exclude you meeting other old classmates during the reunion. MFW. Be me. 6 years old. Go to your elementary school. We have pirate and pizza night. How cool is that? Find empty syringes all over the place. It's the high school kids, don't worry, Anon. Principal teaches English, seems to like me. Teachers are really nice. Always have weird memories of certain evenings coming back. Later find out the principal is a convicted pedophile and had to leave the school. He took girls with him on bikini photo shoots with the permission of their parents. No talked about me with anything that has happened. Still remember some details vividly. MFW. Come to think of it, I have another story that might be related. Be me just last summer. Go to bed after a family gathering. Around 3 a.m., but can't sleep. Hear faint buzzing sound in the distance. Think it's somehow produced by my drunk ear snail. Pop ears a couple times. Sound only grow louder. Very clearly is getting closer. Hear it over the house. Volume level comparable to someone mowing the lawn right outside the window. Moves over the house and slowly goes away. Definitely not a plane or helicopter, 'cause way too slow. The whole experience lasted about half an hour and the sound was very different. Be me. Have far-right extremist father. He was 18 and my mother 16 years old after receiving me. He broke up with her before the day was due. Find out he always made you listen to NS music at home. Always questioning your beliefs. Be only with him every few weeks or something. Find out he never paid alimony on his own. Have fun memories of fishing, hunting, etc. He looks a skinhead and teaches middle school children. Go no contact. Tried to report him for drugs, before the law was changed. Will probably get away scot-free and still owns his weapons. Was Crotland always this based or something?